I told you about this the other day when you kept littering.
Yeah, well, I was chucking.
You boycotted Wetherspoons, didn't you?
Well, I talked about boycotting.
yeah. Do you think you've got a carrot in your own mind?
Is that a euphemism?
We're just a couple of business anchors. Welcome to the Business Anchors podcast. This jingle is slightly too long. This jingle is slightly too long.
Welcome to episode 24 of the Business Anchors podcast, where we are all calling BS on your business values. Are you tweeting about your eco-friendly business one day and then chucking McDonald's packaging in the sea the next? Are you claiming to be good to the planet whilst not understanding what the business is actually doing, like Dan? We're discussing all of this and more on the Business Anchors podcast.
Oh, don't be horrible.
What do you mean?
That was nasty.
What?
Say that sentence again that you said about me.
Are you claiming to be good to the planet whilst not understanding what the business is actually doing, like Dan?
That's not true. I made one mistake.
Oh, there's loads of Dan. So how do you know it's about you?
Ugh. Anyway, we're going to get into that, but Lloyd's got a bit of a bee in his bonnet about something I've done this week.
Maybe there'll be a return of what was the segment we used to do?
Oh, who's been a business anchor?
Yeah, what do we call it though?
Lloyd's been a
anyway.
Oh,
it used to be Lloyd's an anchor or Dan's an anchor.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
who knows? Yeah, business values and that kind of thing. I think it's going to be an interesting chat because
we're calling BS on it.
Oh, we are. We are calling BS on it. Only BS though, not the full word, because otherwise we can't put it in the title. I've
just done it again. I'm really sorry, people listening. I've just taken a sip. People have complained that we drink our drinks too loud.
Are they?
Sorry, we need to try
not do that. Did you just do it?
Oh,
okay.
I did it by accident, but
okay, right.
Yeah. So business values.
Yeah.
What are business values? What do you think business values are? How would you define a business value?
Well, the way I think about it is we all have our own personal values and like ethics and morals that we live our life by. So like some people,
what you care about.
Some people are happy to just throw litter on the ground. Other people have their own morals and values that they think, no, it's not fair for me to do that. So I'm gonna, that's not how I'm gonna live my life. Just as a random example. But I think business values, it's basically from kind of the top down. You got the owners or the leaders of the business kind of making sure that the business as a whole are in line with the values of how the business operates. So sometimes that's in line with the people in the business. Sometimes it might be slightly different to people's values. But, hang on. I just realised Dan's Googled the actual... Well,
I
actually,
think this is interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting, but I'm right.
He's kind of right. So what Wikipedia says is, in management, business value is an informal term that includes all forms of value that determine the health and well-being of the firm in the long run. The health and well-being of the firm in the long run.
No, that's business value.
Oh.
Cool, Dan. Can you just tell us some more definitions of things that are nothing to do with what we're talking about? Maybe I should just give more of my definition.
Here you go.
Oh,
here you go. Sorry.
Yeah. What's this definition of Maltesers?
You act as if I'm stupid.
I know, it's weird. I'm acting like that.
The regard that something is held to deserve, the importance, worth, or usefulness of something. Value. No, is that the wrong value?
Oh God, that's the word value, you knob. Okay. Why don't we talk about our...
No, got it. Sorry, no. The principles that help you to decide what is right and wrong and how to act in various situations. Yes.
Yeah, so that's values in general, and I guess business values, like I said, like the intelligent half of the table here said.
Yeah.
You got the personal thing.
How did you do at uni?
Huh?
What did you get at uni? Did you get a degree?
What did I get? A big belly and liver damage.
Well, I got a first. So.
Oh, nice, well done. Cool.
I've mentioned it before.
Right.
So where did this come from? Where did this whole thing of values come from? Because I know you want to say how rubbish I am, and
No, you've already proved that with the introduction to the podcast, Dan. Your input so far, you've proved that. I don't need to.
I've had such a rubbish input at this podcast episode. I'm sorry, listeners.
If this is the first episode that you've watched or listened to, guys, because
just skip to another one.
Just skip to another one, because Dan says some really intelligent stuff sometimes. I know right now it'd be shocking to hear that, but normally he does.
Right, let's get down to business.
Yeah. So what started us thinking about this? I've been working quite hard on what I want to kind of push through with 2021 with our business, looking more at the values. One of those is very much based on our business's impact on the world outside of our business. And there's something that I'm pushing for us to adopt, which I haven't communicated much to our team or the outside world yet, but it's in the planning of the win-win-win-win approach.
Mm-hmm. Four wins.
Win.
No, it's not win squared. What's the 4 version of squared? Like
win to the power of 4.
Win to the power of 4. Cool.
Let's not call it that.
Okay.
Oh, it's so
catchy.
Both of them, the versions aren't catchy. But I think my thoughts are, thought behind this. Rubbish businesses have a win approach, so we are going to do what's right for our business and rip off everyone else. Mm-hmm. So you don't care what about the people buying your products, your clients. You don't care about people you're working with and the planet. You're just trying to make a profit. I think the average company have a win-win approach of, I'm going to do right for my customers and the business. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to provide them a good service. Yep.
So that's 2. That's win squared.
That's win squared.
Yeah.
Yep. Win-win-win.
Yep.
Is I care. I want our business to do well. I want our clients to do well, and this is in a marketing world. But I also want the customers that we're serving these ads to do well as well. Mm-hmm. So we're marketing really good products to the right people. Mm-hmm. So our clients are happy. They're selling them products or services, but actually the people we're getting served with ads are really happy too, because they're entertaining ads. They're ads that are relevant to them. Everyone's a winner.
Yep.
But the unique approach for Knowlton, the win-win-win-win approach, basically all those things, and then we want to have a positive impact on the rest of the world outside of our business rather than a negative impact. Cool. So that's where all this started. One of the things was, right, we're going to become carbon negative, so we're not going to have, our business is not going to have a negative impact on the planet. Climate change, all that jazz. I wanted to make sure with the business to the size we are now, we get that into place so it's easier. We don't get to the point where there's 20 of us and then we're like, oh God, this is expensive to try and make.
And how did you do that?
Well, one of the steps, one of the first steps we're taking is working with Ecology. If you follow us online, you probably would have seen posts about this already. But Ecology is a brilliant company that help you offset your carbon emissions by planting trees and also by doing other things that you can see on their website. So we've signed up firstly monthly for our business, so everyone in our business and our actions are covered plus 15%. Plus we've just planted some extra trees because we want to make sure we're carbon negative rather than just neutral.
Do you know what I think is really clever about this company?
What?
I think what they've done, because if you go to the website and sign up, you basically visually they've sort of designed this thing so it looks like they visually show the number of trees you're planting in your forest, and it's just a really good way of tracking what you're doing. Yeah. And also they've seemingly made it more easy than I've ever seen to be able to offset your carbon. And it was I think a choice before, but they've sort of brought it to market in an easy way.
Definitely. And even from what we've posted about it so far, because if you know our business at Knowlton, we are quite public with what we're doing. We're posting a lot about it so you can see the journey of what we're doing. So when we've been posting about it, I think what I've seen is a lot of businesses, big and small, like literally one-man band, freelancers kind of thing, and bigger businesses want to have a positive impact and don't want to be bad for the planet, but they think it's going to be very complicated to take that first step. They don't really know what they can start with. And I think there's lots more that we need to do as a business. It's not just like, oh, we've planted some trees, done. Yeah. But as a first step, like you said, it's much simpler than people would imagine. Like, oh, okay, I have funded those trees being planted every month, and these other things that they do as well, the other projects. And all I have to do is read this, sign up, put some details about my business. It takes 5 minutes.
Pay some money.
So, by the way, guys, I can't remember the exact URL, but if you Google Ecology, ECOLOGI, and Knowlton, Ecology, Knowlton, or go onto our website, knowltonmarketing.co.uk. In the footer, there's a link. But yeah, you can have a look at what we've done. You can even like gift us to plant trees in our forest. But yeah, it's really interesting.
So let's get to the interesting bit now.
So the question is, are we and businesses like us just thinking, oh, we can sell more if we say we're good to the planet?
Greenwashing.
Yes, that's the term you said.
Yeah.
I hadn't heard of it before.
I think I've kind of heard of it, but someone did a video on LinkedIn taking the mick out of people greenwashing.
Right.
I haven't actually looked it up, but from what they were saying...
Oh, you wouldn't get the right definition even if you did, would you?
Shut up.
You'd probably just Google green. Green is a colour.
No, what it is businesses basically just saying they're really good for the planet and just for a PR thing so that people are like, oh my God, you're so good. When really they don't care and they're like killing animals and dropping poison in Banny rabbit's eyes.
And I do think that's actually more of a problem.
I think your big lips are more of a problem because you can't get your words out.
With the big corporations, because I think that a lot of the big corporations are doing huge damage to the planet. And often not paying taxes in countries, so countries have less money to even deal with the issue. And then they're kind of, so say you're making £10 billion a year, and then they're going, right, yeah, let's just have a £500,000 spend on this stuff that's good for the planet and a marketing, go with a marketing agency to push that message out. I think it's quite easy for bigger companies because $500,000 spend to get this message out and do something good is a really good thing. But I feel like then everyone goes, oh yeah, God, do you see Coca-Cola planting 10 trees? That's so good. And in reality, it doesn't.
I've got a question for you there.
Yeah.
In terms of intent, so let's say you're a big company and you do, and you obviously do a load of damage to the planet because of everything you do with all your distribution and stuff. And you do actually invest in doing something good for the planet if it's offsetting your carbon or something else. And the reason you're doing it is purely for marketing purposes because you want to look good. Is that still a bad thing? In the sense of you're actually doing the good thing, but your intent is completely because you're being selfish. Do you think that's terrible businesses?
No. I think it's still a really good... Well, I think it's a really good thing for the world.
Yeah.
Because it shows that firstly, businesses are thinking, oh, my customers care about this, so I need to at least start it. And even if their intent's bad at this point, it's still, there's a positive thing happening. So I think that's great. And I also think we shouldn't shy away. Like for our business at the moment, we are far from perfect. And the same as me and my personal life. You know, we discussed this before.
I told you about this the other day when you kept littering.
Yeah, well, I was chucking. That is a joke, guys. I definitely wasn't doing it.
Just chucks his rubbish out the window.
Yeah. I feel like people are going to believe you.
Sorry, Lloyd. Sorry, I had to say that.
Yeah, but so we're far from perfect, and there's so much we can do as a business. In previous episode about my mental health, I said how I'm not perfect in my life, and that's okay, not being perfect. And I think sometimes in the media, on social media as well, people get slated for not being perfect. Like you say, what I'm doing is I'm offsetting the carbon, and then, for example, if someone commented saying, well, I saw you drinking Coca-Cola, and Coca-Cola are bad for the planet. I don't think people should... But basically, anything is better than nothing. So I think you should be open to the fact that you're not going to be perfect and you can do more, but still take action. Yeah. Because if you try and be perfect from day one, then it's never going to be
not being stressed like you were.
Yeah. Same sort of principle.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Because I remember you saying a while ago about your Weatherspoons thing. You know, when Weatherspoons are basically horrible to their staff, just sack them all as soon as COVID happened and didn't care about them. Yeah. You sort of, what's it called where you, boycott, that's it. You boycotted Weatherspoons, didn't you?
Well, I talked about boycotting.
yeah.
But this is the interest. So, yeah, you're right. So that was another kind of values thing, wasn't it? I was like, I shouldn't be supporting a company that treats people like this. But then I did say, I remember having a conversation with you, possibly you spoke about it on the podcast really early on, but it's like, the things you do to try and be positive to the planet and the outside world quite often are less convenient to you and make your life worse. So, for example, if all my mates were going to Wetherspoons and I was like, Wetherspoons are terrible to their stuff, so I'm going to stay at home.
Yeah, piss off, Lloyd.
Obviously, if I do that constantly, I'll probably have no friends at some point. And I do think this is an interesting thing where it's what can we do as consumers? Because, like I said, doing the right thing quite often is more expensive, less convenient. So buying from Amazon is the most convenient thing in the world, and that's why they're doing so well. It's also not good for the planet. It's not very good for our local businesses.
Where do you draw the line, though? Where do you draw the line?
That's what I mean. And I shop with Amazon all the time.
You're a terrible person.
Yeah. But I think that's a question that I don't have an answer for. How can we possibly do better for the planet as individuals when doing that is harder for everyone than not doing it? It's shooting yourself in the foot. Money's tight for a lot of people. If you have values of, I want to do the right thing for the planet, do you really want to spend 20% more on your shopping every week? You might want to, but is that realistic? I think it's a hard thing, and it's not something I have an answer to.
Then you can get hung up. I guess I was going to say it depends how much you care about it, but then that's not the only variable, because you really care about it, and you did all these things, and because you were doing all those things, you were worse in other areas of your life, and you weren't happy, and you weren't being a good person.
I think people can care a lot about the planet and doing the right thing in general, not just eco-friendly stuff. Like we said, not supporting big businesses that are terrible to their staff, or kick kittens or something. But there's also other things that are important to you. Like I said, my friends are important to me. If they're meeting in an establishment that I don't want to support, they're still
You'll
important
sit outside.
to me. Yeah, exactly. Also, financially, people can't always afford to do the right thing, or have really difficult decisions of, I can buy this for my son at Christmas on Amazon, but I actually can't. I'm not going to be able to do that if I have to shop at this independent store.
This is me and Dad went for a walk the other day, and we actually had a really good conversation about this.
Where was my invite?
You were working. I had some time off, so. And you can only meet one person out and about, so, I was sticking to the rules.
Oh, yeah. I mean, obviously I'm sticking to those rules as well, so I wouldn't want to be invited.
So we had a really interesting conversation. So, if you think about perishable products that you buy, not perishable, but products that get worn down, like trainers, for example, that you need to repeatedly buy over time. Like, if Nike created indestructible trainers, it would be way worse for them as a company, because people won't repeatedly buy their product, and if you were looking at just in terms of finances, they'd do worse. So they've got no incentive to do that. Whereas, and I don't know what's out there at the minute, but surely governments should be incentivizing manufacturers to produce products that last longer, so it's better for the environment. Do you know what I mean? Like, surely they should be saying to Nike, if you make an indestructible trainer, the tax will be nothing, or we'll give you money toward. Do you know what I mean? Like, to encourage that, because otherwise,
because the hard thing is, because I completely agree, and I think we need to move further to and the same thing with furniture, for example. You should be buying a bed, and that bed frame should last you a lifetime. There's no we've got the materials that mean it shouldn't ever break. And it should be. But over a lifetime, you're probably going to buy 10 or something like that, and then get it chucked. And but the hard thing is, if you think, so for example, for those trainers in a life, say you have a pair of trainers every year, I think would be quite realistic. One pair until you're 80. That's 80 times what? 50 quid? 80 times 50 quid? Let's go with that.
Yeah.
£4,000.
Is that right? That's
is that
not right, is it?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Dan, just showing again who the intelligent one is. £4,000.
Yeah,
like,
it's £4,000.
as consumers, it's not realistic. So even if Nike said, indestructible trainer, wear it the rest of your life, £1,000, it's still not viable for consumers to make that purchase. Because we make our money over our lifetime, and we have £50 a year. Most people don't have £1,000 for a one-off
You could get it on
purchase.
credit though, like cars when you lease cars, like houses when you get mortgages.
And I think that's an interesting thing, like when governments and stuff can get involved.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're talking about trainers, but this could be absolutely anything. But I think it needs to be some kind of government thing of, we, like a student loan, we will pay for your education, and you can pay it back once it's kind of like, if the government know that it's a positive thing, support it with some kind of thing to go, oh, that indestructible pair of trainers, you do need to pay £300 up front,
like cycle to work scheme, cycle to work scheme, where they but go on.
I just think it's hard because, like you said, at the moment for businesses, it's just not a good thing for them to do. So it would have to be, you don't want to put loads of stuff, Nike don't want to go, I'm going to make indestructible trainers, and then go to governments of the world, can you please just pay for these trainers for everyone? Obviously the government's going to go, no, we definitely don't want to do that. So I don't know what the first step to this kind of moving forward with this is.
Another one that really annoys me, have you got a Brita filter?
No, but I have had in the past, on landfill now.
So you're a terrible person. So Brita filter, if anyone listening, if you've got a Brita filter, you put every now and again, you put the filter thing in, changeable filter, and it filters your water. And then normally the one I've got, on the top, there's like 4 bars that after a certain amount of time, they go down to 0 and say you need to change the filter. I have the same filter. I think it's every month you're supposed to change it. I've had the same filter in there for about 6 months. Water tastes the same.
It tastes the same, but I have noticed your intelligence slowly decreasing, with the build-up of bacteria.
That might be it. But it's like, I reckon they could build a filter that lasts for 20 years.
But also, we don't know. That filter may be fine for a year, but the people making it are never going to say, change a filter once a year. They're going
exactly, this is the whole point.
Yeah. As
the government should be incentivising them to communicate that and say, the more one-year filters you sell, we'll subsidise it with X amount of money.
As consumers, we don't have the knowledge to know if something's just companies trying to sell stuff, or
just imagine
mattresses. You should buy a mattress every 8 years.
Says who?
The companies that sell mattresses. What a surprise! How can we get to a point in society where the consumers have the knowledge to know if that's just someone flogging them stuff? Because that is just fueling mattresses on landfill. That's what and mattress companies to make money.
It's the same as like Apple with their iPhones. They got found out for actually with their updates, they make your iPhone perform worse so that you feel like you need the newer one. It's just mental.
I feel like we're going on a bit of a rant here,
no,
but it's really interesting.
I genuinely think like if you think about it, I know we're not like experts, but I think thinking about this logically and talking about it logically, surely the government should be incentivizing companies to make their products last longer so they manufacture less. But
if any of you anchors listening know of kind of anything in any industry that is kind of going this way, where is there any kind of scheme where companies are being incentivized to create things that last longer? Anything, because I'm not aware of anything.
There must be.
But like we said, we're not experts in this field. But clearly, we want to hear about it because me and Dan have been ranting about it. We weren't even supposed to talk about that for long, but it's basically a whole episode.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really think it's interesting, and I think it does warrant more discussion another day. Hopefully, you find that interesting too, business anchors. But yeah, moving on, Dan.
Moving on.
We haven't actually gone through how you mucked up.
Have we not done that yet?
Yeah, no. So this whole thing, so ecology. I'm trying to drive the business forward. To be fair, this is my responsibility in the business. I need to be working on this and then communicating to our team once we work on this stuff. So we signed up for ecology, which in my eyes is the very first step to getting to where we want to be as a business when it comes to having a positive impact on the planet. Dan obviously got excited, which is fair enough because I got excited as well.
Don't patronise me.
This is a great... No, well, you did. You got excited, like, I'm going to tell the world what we're doing. And in my head, I'm kind of thinking, well, this is just the first step. You know, we want to make sure we're clear on our communications and why we're doing these things. But Dan, if you could you just tell the world what you
in the Friday Club email I send every week with all the best stuff we've learned every week.
Where can people sign up for that?
bit.ly/the-Friday-club.
Great, that sounds brilliant.
But every week I send this email out and talk about what's going on in the business and the challenges we're overcoming. And I obviously wanted to talk about this ecology thing, where we're planting trees, because that's a good thing to talk about. And I basically said, I actually asked you, how should we communicate this? And I wrote notes so that I got it right. And in my notes I wrote, we're now operating as a climate positive business.
Nice. That's exactly what I said. Yeah.
But in the email I said, we're now operating as a carbon positive business, which actually means that
the opposite
of that,
which is what most businesses are.
So what unfolded after that was I sent out that email. No one actually said anything about it.
They just thought
rubbish. We were greenwashing. But then Lloyd, this was actually the day I was out for a walk with Dad. You sent me a message on WhatsApp, like a really angry message, didn't you?
Well, it wasn't a really
The first one was angry. What are you doing? And you were angry because you put all this work into that.
I'd like to just clarify my emotion. I didn't feel angry at any point.
Disappointed.
I was disappointed. Yeah.
So then Lloyd was disappointed in me because I'd made us look rubbish after all of his hard work. Like we didn't actually care, when really we do, because he's heading this up and he really cares. And I care as well, but you care the most. And then eventually you sent me a nice, funny video that...
taking the mick out
of me. And I thought, he's actually all right with me now.
Yeah. It was because I've been working hard on this and I wasn't ready to kind of go public with what we're doing, because I'm thinking we're not there yet. I want to make sure we're doing all the right things. And
I got excited.
Dan goes, we're carbon positive. So we're just really bad for the planet and don't know what we're talking about. So yeah, I was at first I was like really disappointed, like, I've put so much work into this, and then all of our followers were just saying the wrong thing. But like Dan said, 5 minutes later I thought, no one's died.
Yeah.
We're all,
Does that actually matter?
So it doesn't matter. This is, and I think Dan's probably thinking, we've been talking ages and this episode's going to be too long, but I want to talk about this.
No, you can't.
This made me think, and I discussed this with Dan about talking about this on the podcast, that decision, and there's lots of these things, reaction is really interesting, because my initial reaction obviously just really
hated me,
annoyed and disappointed. No, didn't hate you, still loved you. Really annoyed and disappointed I've worked really hard on something and then someone else's actions have just completely kind of gone against all this hard work, and being like, oh, you've really done something wrong. And then I moved to the reaction of, like I said, doesn't really matter, in the scheme of things, doesn't matter. And I thought, in businesses day to day and personal lives, this is always something that we have to make the judgment on. Like, is it the right thing if someone does something wrong to be like, you've done this wrong, this is really not good, what are you going to do about it? Or do we go on the side of, actually, in this grand scheme of things, we're a marketing business that doesn't matter in a town that doesn't matter, and we'll forget this action in 2 weeks and it'll be fine.
Can I share my opinion?
Yeah.
I think it does matter that you act in that way, and I'll tell you why. And I'll tell you a story as well.
Okay.
From my experience, emotion changes behaviour. If you feel something, if you have a really positive or a really negative feeling or experience, that will change your behaviour moving forward. So, for example, when I used to work at Enterprise and I first drove a van in the wash bay, and I scraped the whole side of it, and it cost my my branch manager about 10 grand. He didn't tell me off, but I felt so bad and horrible for like a week that I never did that again. And it's because that emotional, just like we want to encourage our staff, or in any business, to improve. If they did something that wasn't how we'd want it, we need to be giving feedback and saying, either that was really good, keep doing that, or you need some work on that. And if you don't do that and make them either feel really positive or maybe slightly more negative to change, then I don't think they or us in any of these situations is going to change. So I think I'm just speaking for myself. I need reinforcement of you making me feel a bit. There's a level to it though.
Yeah.
There's a ceiling on it. You don't want to make someone feel terrible, but me personally, I feel like I need that.
So looking back, like with that, obviously we're just using this example, and we're brothers, so the relationship's different and stuff as well. But so do you think my initial reaction should have been any different, or do you think it needed to be like that to change your behaviour in the future?
I think it needed to be like that, but I think you've got better at this. I think probably a year ago, you would have probably carried that on and made me feel worse than that, and that would have taken it too far.
Right.
But I think now you've got it right.
Before I was a horrible person.
No, not at all.
I just occasionally just send messages to Dan afterwards going, are you feeling shit? I hope you are.
No, not at all. But I think
everything.
You would take things more to the extreme before.
Right.
But I think now you've got... And also it was the funny message taking the mick out of me, the funny video that really made me realise, oh, he's okay. But it really, he really felt strongly about that. And if you wouldn't have done both, I think it wouldn't have worked so well. So
that's interesting, because I think everyone, like business kind of management in businesses, anyone that has people, I was going to say underneath them, that sounds horrible. Anyone that's a line manager of someone, I think it's always hard. Some people are very much the end of, basically they'll say, you've done this wrong and it's rubbish, go and make it right. And it's those line managers like, oh yeah, they're really angry again, so I'm going to try and get this right. Some people go the other way of trying to be encouraging, of like, don't worry, it's absolutely fine, just try not to do this again, but you know, it really doesn't matter. And there's everything in between. And I think it's hard for anyone to get that balance right.
I think it depends on the person you're doing it to, though. It's just like the carrot and stick thing. Some people get motivated by saying, and this is funny to do with you, some people get motivated by saying, if you do this thing, you will be rewarded with this.
Yeah.
And others are like, if you don't do this thing, you'll be punished.
Yeah.
You know, when you like mum and dad couldn't motivate you at all at school, you just didn't care really, because you were so happy with all your mates and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think dad literally said, in your exams, for every A star you get, it'll give you a load of money, and you just didn't.
My parents offered me
the carrot
all the carrots and the sticks they could possibly, and nothing worked. But yeah, it definitely, they started out, well, more dad started out with like, if you don't do your revision, you're not going to be allowed out. And I was kind of like, cool, I'm not going to listen to you. And then went the other way of like, right, for every A you get, I'm going to give you £10. And I was like, cool. Yeah, not really bothered about that either.
So do you feel, because you're way motivated now, I think you're the most motivated I've ever seen you in your life. Do you think you've got a carrot in your own mind?
Is that a euphemism?
You've got something going on in there, because you're...
To be honest with me, I mean, I'm weird, so I don't think I'm a good example. But it's more... I'm more content with myself and not looking for any huge carrots and not scared of any sticks, just wanting to do good stuff.
Really great advice there.
Thank you. But no, I think, well, I was going to say, as a manager in our business of people, I was going to say, I think I'm more carrot, like encouraging, but I realise I've got people listening that might be thinking, you're definitely not. You're an absolute stick. But maybe I'll speak to people after and see what they think I am.
Interesting convo.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you a carrot or a stick in your business? Oh no, not are you a carrot? Are you offering a carrot?
Or are you taking a stick?
Offering a stick. Let us know.
If you want Lloyd to give you a carrot or a stick, then comment below.
Comment below. Cool. Oh god, we're gonna end up with a weird marketing campaign and sending carrots again, aren't we? Bloody hell. Cool. I want to say one more thing. I want to say it in public because it might make me do it.
Oh, go on.
I want to set a ridiculous goal for myself next year.
Go on then.
And it sounds ridiculous, but I want to try. I want to plant 1 million trees.
Cool.
And next year, I want to try and work that out. I definitely don't have anywhere near enough money to fund that.
You mean personally, right? You're going to actually plant them yourself?
No. I mean, make it happen.
Always taking a year out.
I'm nowhere near wealthy enough to make that happen. I have no idea how I could make it happen, but I want to try and make it happen.
And historically, when you say something publicly like this, like when you did Lloyd today, where you're going to make a video every day for a year, and you made one video.
Take action for a week and then forget about it. So maybe we'll update the business anchors next year on how I do. Yeah, just wanted to say that I want to try and do that.
Cool.
Don't know how it's going to work. Probably going to cost about $100,000, so I don't know how that would work, but I'm going to try and do it. Yeah.
Cool. We can talk about it in the next episode.
Okay. Nice. Can I say one more thing?
Come on, hurry up. This is going too long.
Thank you everyone for sending lovely messages about me speaking about mental health and saying it's helped you and stuff like that. That really meant a lot, and I'm glad that it helped people. Anything else? No. See you in the next episode. Thanks, guys. See you in the next episode. Should I stop? Yeah. Okay. See you in the next episode.